Thank you for joining the music of the movement. Please welcome Vicar DeGravio, Riverside's President and CEO.
Good morning, everyone. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome you to Riverside Community Care's 4th annual Martin Luther King Jr. Black History Month event and our first ever in-person gathering for this celebration. This year, we are especially excited to bring this event to you in a hybrid fashion, allowing us to connect both with our in-person audience and our virtual audience. This event and others we host throughout the year are some of the many ways Riverside strives to create a culture that is inclusive and welcoming for our employees and the individuals and families we support. As an American, celebrating Martin Luther King's legacy in Black History Month is incredibly important to me. All throughout February, we celebrate the contributions of Black Americans to our nation's history. Individuals like Crispus Attucks, one of the victims of the Boston Massacre, and Frederick Douglass, someone who was viewed as a dangerous radical in his time fighting against slavery. We celebrate groundbreaking artists such as Marian Anderson, Romare Bearden, James Baldwin, and Toni Morrison. We celebrate athletes like Jackie Robinson, who before he broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball was court-martialed by the United States Army for refusing to ride in the back of a military bus. But Black history is also an important reminder that for the first 80 years of our constitutional republic, Black Americans were denied the basic constitutional rights other Americans enjoyed and celebrated. And that even after those rights were officially granted in the aftermath of the Civil War, governmental entities and other institutions across our nation conspired to effectively deny Black Americans those rights for another 100 years. Today's event also honors the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. Dr. King, during his lifetime, inspired millions of Americans of all races. We must remember, though, that Dr. King's successes were ultimately the successes of individuals who did the hard work on the ground of the civil rights movement. Individuals like Rosa Parks, Fannie Lou Hamer, Bayard Rustin, and one of my heroes, John Lewis. And we must remember others who, like Dr. King, were murdered in the pursuit of a more just and equal society. Individuals such as Medgar Evers, James Chaney, Andrew Goodman, and Michael Sherner. But Dr. King's legacy also spreads far beyond the civil rights movement and those who participated in it. His message of love and forgiveness and a vision of a more just society inspired my own mother, who was a Boston public school teacher for 35 years, in her commitment to giving every child access to high-quality public education. And inspired Jim Hardiman, who we're going to hear from soon, a proud veteran of the United States Air Force, and his good friend Ellis Seidman, to work in their own ways for social justice, including service as members of Riverside's Board of Directors. Our theme today, the music of the movement, honors the undeniable role of music in the civil rights movement, the Black experience, and in our own work here at Riverside. Music is deeply embedded in Riverside's programming. Across our Child and Family Services division, we see the power of music in action every day. Youth in our life skills programs collaborate on playlists, explore lyrics, and process emotions through music-based therapy groups. Early intervention teams use music in home visits and playgroups to support language, motor skills, and emotional development. In our Behavioral Health Services division, we're fortunate to have a dedicated music therapist, William Rawlings, offering music as a tool of healing. A few weeks ago, Riverside hosted a training for our team called Reach for Music, how to neutralize stress to increase creativity and engagement. This is not a coincidence. The connection between music and mental well-being is real. It is powerful, and today we celebrate that. So, as we reflect on Dr. King's legacy and the music that fueled the movement, we are honored to have Professor Jerome Kyles with us to guide us through this journey. He is here to take us through a powerful conversation about music's role in history, healing, and activism, all through the language of song. Thank you all for being here in person and online, and let's begin the music of the movement.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s favorite singer was Mahalia Jackson.
Soon I will be done. The trouble of this world, oh, my trouble in this world, Lord, the trouble in this world, Lord, sooner will be done. The trouble of this world, I'm going home to live with my Lord. No more weeping and wailing, no more weeping and wailing, no more weeping and wailing. I'm going home to live with my Lord.
Please welcome Mr. James Hardiman, member of Riverside's Board of Directors and Board Representative for our Diversity and Inclusion Committee.
Good morning, everyone. Today, as we celebrate music of the movement, we recognize that music has always been the heartbeat of Black history, a soundtrack of resilience, faith, and freedom. From the rhythmic calls and response of the fields to the soaring harmonies of gospel choirs, from the defined spirituals of the enslaved to the anthems of the civil rights movement, music has carried the struggles, the hopes, and the victories of Black people throughout history. It has been more than just a sound. It has been survival. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. understood this deeply. Music was the soul of the music, the force that carried marchers forward, lifted spirits in jail cells, and stirred the consciousness of a nation. At the heartbeat of the music was gospel, and the heart of the gospel was Mahalia Jackson. Mahalia Jackson wasn't just Dr. King's favorite singer, she was his inspiration. Her voice was a vessel for hope. It was Mahalia who, during the 1963 March on Washington, called out to him in the middle of his speech, urging, "Tell them about the dream, Martin." It was then that Dr. King shifted away from his prepared notes and spoke the unforgettable words, "I have a dream." Music was the movement's pulse, and today we honor that legacy. And so, it is only fitting that we welcome someone to share with us today who embodies the power of storytelling through music. Professor Jerome Kyles is a gifted musician, educator, speaker, who has dedicated his career to exploring music's ability to connect, inspire, and heal. He will take us on a journey today through history, through rhythm, through spirit, reminding us why music has always been a catalyst for change. Thank you all, and please enjoy.
What you said on paper. If I lived in China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest for right. So just as I say we aren't going to let any dog or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Good day, everyone, and good day, Riverside community. I'm Jerome Kyles, and I'm so excited to be here with you this morning, and excited to delve into this conversation with you. Listen to the words of this song. Songs from the movement. I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Keep on walking, keep on talking, walking up the freedom way. I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I gotta keep on walking, keep on talking, walking up the freedom way. I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, no, turn me around, turn me around. I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I gotta keep on walking, keep on talking, walking up the freedom way. Hey, yeah. Turn me around. I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. We gotta keep on walking, keep on talking. We gotta keep on walking, and we keep on talking. We gotta keep on fighting, keep on believing, keep on trusting, keep on fighting. We gotta keep on walking, keep on talking, walking up freedom way. Thank you. Okay. Let's give you one more. What an amazing time to be alive. And what an amazing time to experience all that we're experiencing in our lives today. And there's still a fight, still a struggle, still a focus and a mindset that we all have to have. And it takes all of us, you know. We're pitching everything real low today because the voice is interesting here in this Massachusetts weather. I'm a Florida boy now, you see. Glory, glory, hallelujah, glory, glory, hallelujah, glory, glory, hallelujah. It's true singing, Lord, glory, hallelujah, singing glory, glory, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Truth is marching on. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is standing out the vantage way, the craves of wrath are stored. He has the fateful lightning of his terrible swift and sword. His truth is marching on.
Everyone, please join me in welcoming Dr. Angela Crutchfield, Riverside's Vice President for Diversity, Inclusion, and Organizational Excellence. Dr. Crutchfield, along with Professor Jerome Kyles, will lead us through this musical conversation and experience. First, the history of Black music, the Civil Rights Movement, and Professor Kyles' journey.
Thank you so much. How are you feeling so far? Awesome. As always, absolutely incredible, Professor Kyles. We appreciate you here at Riverside. You've joined us for a few events now, so
I'm back at home.
Right. And it's my honor to have a chance to actually sit down and talk to you. We talk, but we don't talk like this, and this is a whole different level of conversation. So I wanted to just kind of start things off by asking you a couple of questions in relation to the history of the movement and your background. But let's start with your background. People don't know how you've been formally raised up in this space of music, child prodigy, all of those things. Let's hear a little bit about that journey for you musically.
Sure. I'm originally from Miami, Florida. And as a young person, I was a little kid, I guess pretending to play keyboard on my mother's sofa. And I guess at that time she had the intuition to put me into lessons. And one of the funny things is I learned, like many people, just by using my ears. Mm-hmm. And I used to listen to the TV, and whatever commercials would come on, and I would run to the piano and try to figure it out. And And it was such a gift at that time that she would tell my teachers not to play anything for me, because if they played it, I would never learn how to actually read music. And so I also learned how to, well, I wouldn't say that. I was going to say I also learned how to be manipulative, but no, that's not what I mean. I mean, I learned how to develop my ears and my hearing and then play back. And so that took me on through college, and I was music at theater. I've always played and worked in churches my entire life. Even as a young person, I always had more money than my friends because of my talent, which was a good thing because my dad died when I was very young. And so my talent actually helped me take a lot of pressure off of my mother, who at 30 some years old, I think at the time, became a single parent of 2. And so because I could play and sing, she didn't have to buy me nice clothes or anything because I bought them myself, because of all the work that I was able to do in music.
So that music, that connection to music is a huge part of your history and that backdrop of who you are today, obviously.
It is.
Yeah, and you fascinate me with the thought process of being formally trained as an opera singer.
Yes. Opera performance at Stetson University in Florida. And it was an amazing, before that at New World School of the Arts in Miami, Florida, and then Stetson in DeLand, Florida. But opera was amazing foundation for me, but I found it a bit limiting, and so I ended up in Boston at Berklee College of Music because I wanted to sing everything else, and so that's how I ended up in Boston.
And so you stand on the shoulders of so many when we think about history, and music has always been a source of strength, right?
Indeed.
Strength and identity, resilience, all of these things for the Black community as we celebrate Black History Month.
Correct.
From spirituals to blues to jazz to gospel. And why I thought it was fitting to have you is you touch all of that.
I do.
You know, literally all of that and beyond, and tell stories through music. So when we think about this, storytelling of music and our history, how would you speak to that?
Well, without the music, I don't think there really would have been a civil rights movement as we know it. The music started when the slaves came over. There was a way of communication, because there was no other way to build oneself up. It started in the fields with the field cries and the hollers and all of the things. I mean, in some of the songs, this was before the civil rights movement, but in some of the songs, they were ways of communicating when certain slaves could move about, and possibly even get to freedom. They used those songs as clarion calls or times to meet, times to get together, where they would meet, so on and so forth. So the music is woven in through the history, through the slaves, and then also into, you move ahead into the different movements, civil rights and segregation and all of that. The songs and the church itself stood as a place of safety, if I could say it that way. And we found great comfort in singing a song like, I Ain't Gonna Let Nobody Turn Me Around. That was sang by the Freedom Singers, which took gospel songs or church songs and just rearranged the lyrics a bit to fit whatever occasion they were going to. And the Freedom Singers went about throughout the movement singing and raising money, and a lot of people don't know about the Freedom Singers, but that song, the first song that I sang, was from the Freedom Singers.
And that really was an important part of the music movement. That music
Absolutely.
became foundational.
Yeah.
And you could feel it. That's why for me, I honor and acknowledge people like Mahalia Jackson.
Sure.
It's like you feel that,
Yeah.
you know, that power and that. What would you say about that? The power in the music of the movement and helping to keep that energy and that excitement, not excitement because it was a tough time, but you know, the energy of
Sure.
the movement going.
Well, again, it's I mean, work on a railroad. You need a song, you know? It's the same thing with the movement. There was not a march without a song. There needed to be something to accompany the message, and that message carry on and carry on. Some people will never get your message. They'll never understand what you speak, but they can understand a song. And so that's why you have an I Ain't Gonna Let Nobody Turn Me Around, on Oh Freedom, or We Shall Overcome. It spoke about solidarity, determination, You mentioned Mahalia Jackson, who was Dr. King's favorite singer. Before he would do a big speech, there was who? Mahalia Jackson, to what? Ignite and to fire up the people, so that the message, when the message came, it was received. It's funny, it's the same thing in most of our churches or synagogues or congregations or whatever religion you are. There's always a music, there's always a song. Even before a great message, you hear a song that brings you into focus, so that when the message comes, you're more able to receive it. It's the same thing with the movement. I think of so many after Mahalia Jackson. Hopefully I'm not jumping ahead in the conversation.
That's okay.
But after Mahalia Jackson died, there was someone else who came after her, who became the voice of the civil rights movement. It was very thrusted to the forefront, and her name was Aretha Franklin. Every time there was some big event that happened, Aretha Franklin was there to put a stamp on it.
And that stamp had that spiritual core, which
Absolutely.
I know is a huge part of your lifestyle and
Absolutely.
how you live your life. Some people think you can't sing jazz if you're singing gospel. You can't sing country if you're in the church. Music is music, right?
It is, and it comes from someplace, and it's all woven together. I don't care where you're from, what country you're from. Music is that one thing that has the ability to bind everyone together. You may not understand the language that's spoken, but the melody, the harmony, the what's played, the drum beat can speak to your soul and cause you to move. And I know we're going to get into some of that a little later in our conversation, but it all has a power. And then when you couple that with lyrics that are meaningful, that have a message and a story, it's explosive. Its power is unlimitless. It is, did I say that right? Limitless.
Limitless.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah.
But that is amazing. It's a great segue for us to move into our next section. If you can just sit with me for a minute.
Sure.
We want to share a little bit about what's going on here at Riverside. And we'll come back and talk to you about what your perspective is on the work of music in this space of behavioral health and human services. But we want to do something a little quick before that. But let's just sit here and then we'll hear a little bit more from you.
Awesome.
Hi, my name is Bill Rollins, and I am a therapist in the Riverside's Cambridge Outpatient Clinic since its beginning 3 years ago. I've been asked to share a little bit about my background and my role here in Riverside. I began music at the age of 9, which was the same time that I started going to church, and that is where I had my musical beginnings, in church, learning instrumental music, vocal music, composition, learning how to compose music, and also conducting and leadership, all the way up to advanced levels. And those experiences brought me to the decision that I wanted to go to school to learn how to be a music teacher in schools or in college level. I earned my bachelor's degree at the Cincinnati Conservatory of Music at the University of Cincinnati with a focus in instrumental and vocal music. Then I got a master's of music and choral conducting from the Boston Conservatory here in Boston area. For all of those years, I mentored literally hundreds of children, teens, and adults, both in the church and in secular settings. All of those mentoring relationships led me to acknowledge I needed to learn more about what these people were experiencing as far as challenges in human experiences as they presented itself in them. And I wanted to learn how to be able to help them further go the next step in their life, or to know who to take them to for the help that they need. I earned eventually in arts, a Master's of Arts degree in expressive therapies at Lesley University with a focus in music therapy and clinical mental health counseling. After beginning my practice in both the adolescent and senior adult population living with mental health challenges, I searched for the right full-time place to serve people, and I found that place, Riverside. So when asked how the expressive arts can help people connect, heal, and to process emotions, I typically respond by sharing that it's important that the arts can be used as a vehicle for communication for people who have various challenges and learning how to deal with it. And the experience needs to help them understand that and believe that they have a voice, understand that they can be seen, and to believe that they can express their experiences, their emotions, and thoughts without judgment in the safe space of the arts. And it helps them even more further, help them to unpack the problems that they experience in life, both emotionally and behaviorally. So that's the value of the arts, of helping that communication, being a safe place for being able to accomplish those specific things. I've been asked to give a message that can help you understand the importance of music and other artistic expressions in mental health. And what I would say to my colleagues is to think outside the limits of what education has taught us, with variety, consistency, and confidence for the people that we serve. Keep in mind that they are the professionals of their body, mind, and experience. Let them be our guide as to what we offer and how we offer supports through not only music, but all artistic mediums, which, by the way, has historically been a significant part of our human experience. Thank you for allowing me to share my experience with music, with mental health, and with Riverside. Fonga alafia, ashe, ashe. Welcome, good health, peace, and thank you.
Awesome. So thankful to have that opportunity. And thank you, Val, one of our IT team who put that video together. Thank you so much. You know, I want to start there. I was going to start somewhere else, but let's start there and then we'll go back to the previous question. When you think about the role of music and therapy and thinking about the work that we do and hearing what Vic shared in the beginning and what we just heard from Bill and all the things we're doing here at Riverside, we incorporate music in so many ways. Our life skills programs, using playlists and lyric exploration, our early intervention team using music to support child development, and we got some of our staff from that team here. When you think about all of this, the healing aspects of music, how does that align with what you've seen in your own work? You work with young musicians. You have a lot of folks that have kind of come up under your tutelage, and then you've got the vocal music professorship at Berklee. I mean, what are your thoughts when you think about this concept of music and therapy?
Well, music is one of the most natural forms of healing that we have. It's rhythm, it's vibration, it's connection. I've seen children who struggle to speak suddenly find words because they were introduced to a song. I've seen people, burdened or experiencing loss. I've seen a song bring such comfort and healing and bring them to a place of peace just by sitting down at the piano. Music has an incredible ability to reach us where words can't and take us far beyond what we thought was possible. It has the ability to just unlock us. I told someone years ago I need to go get a psychology degree because I spend more time in my work now unlocking my students. Literally, I have to, when they come to me, a lot of times I can tell where they are emotionally because I can feel them. And before we can even get to working on music, I sit down, let's just take a moment to breathe and to share. And sometimes I'll just play through their warm-ups and allow them to freely then begin to express. And that single act has the ability to unlock them and get them to a place where we're now able to create or able to actually have a conversation. And so it ties back to when you think about the music of the movement, it allowed for us to have real conversations. because everyone struggles. Everyone has hardships. Everyone has something that they need to overcome and be better at. And if I sing to you, I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, or this little light of mine. How many people feel unseen, unheard in our world today? But if I say to you, let me sing you something. This little light of mine, it's just a little light. Doesn't have to be a spotlight. But whatever your little light is, let it shine. Let it, no. Shine right where you are, broken, hurt, feeling down, depressed. Be seen, be heard. And all of a sudden now we can go somewhere. We can go further in our conversation, or we can just begin. Or we can do nothing, but let our little light shine.
Yeah.
Right?
We can transition and do some things with this room if you would like.
Well,
How about that?
how about that? We're talking about the power of music, yeah? And how certain things can, he has no idea because I was gonna do this myself. I'm supposed to be playing, but this band sounds amazing, so I gotta use them. I'm paying them, all right. We don't pay people to look pretty, all right. So Tyson is there already. This is David, David, Gerald, and Tyson, everybody. It's just what we call a drone. This sound has been throughout history, way back medieval times, or the Gregorian chant, all kinds of stuff. It's just a one note held. It's very pipe organ-like too. That alone doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it sounds like we're getting ready to do something. It's like a call, like attention, right? Add something else to it. All of a sudden, something that didn't seem to have much form or anything, with what we call tension 9, or the second scale degree, now has birthed into this space or the atmosphere of promise. It's like there's something on the horizon. If you're down, unsure, that can lift you. That just that harmony, just these passages, minor for me. That's called tension, dissonance. That doesn't feel good. It creates a bit of like almost stress, almost anxiety or something. That's just minor. Minor also carries an emotion which can sometimes not be happy, could be sad. F sharp minor 7. Still minor. A over B. Doesn't that feel like a lift? E major 7. Now, if you were born before 1980, the major 7 chord is the soundtrack to our lives. Everything, is a major 7. You've got a friend. I mean, I can sing anything from James Taylor or Carole King or That's just a small demonstration of the power of chords in music and what it can do emotionally. You can't help but feel a little. When this gets to playing, you're like, okay, well, what? I was sitting still, but all of a sudden, everybody, and y'all are from all over the place, and everybody's like, that's what it's supposed to do, right? It's supposed to make you move, and this is just a little blues, right? If you ever plan to motor west, this is not on our script. Travel my way, take the highway that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. Yep. Sunday, if I do let it do by. Some do that, let it down. Vadu let it love do daddy. Sadu badu 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 dadu dadu do the dedo. Said I'm the only little hope, yeah. Badu badu. I'll be here for the next 2 hours demonstrating all of this kind of stuff. This is where we live and we have fun. Dr. Angela did this to me. Now I'm all stirred up. Oh my God. It's taken everything I have to stay on this script, I'm telling you, because the music itself then carries me. And I know for you it does the same. You have work to do, but we can stay here a little longer. I can go through lunch break, you know.
Well, you know what? Let's segue. Let's segue, Jake. Take us on to the next segment, and then we can keep this going after we talk for just one more quick time.
Okay.
Quickly. You can even stay there if you like. I'll sit here and talk to you.
Okay.
I can do that.
Sure.
Take it away, Jake.
Please welcome back Dr. Angela Crutchfield and Professor Jerome Kyles for the final segment of their discussion, Music as a Universal Language and the Power of Unity.
You know, and that's really what you're demonstrating right now. Music brings people together. And, you know, when we think about that, in your experience, why do you think music has the ability to bring people together, even when there are challenges that divide us? Somehow we can all get in a room and sing, "We shall overcome," whatever it is. Your thoughts on that?
Music taps into how we feel. It's not just what I think about a thing. It pushes us past what we may think that we know, knowledge-wise, and really taps into the emotional side of us. It's the one thing that, as I said earlier in our conversation, that takes us beyond all of the weird stuff, all of the stuff that divides us and keep us apart. You get someone in a room where people are fighting and someone play a guitar, and all of a sudden everyone turns around and they stop whatever they're doing, and it grabs their attention and pulls them in. That's why it's so important to have the arts. As your professor was saying, and even his work with music therapy, which is shout out to him in the work that he's doing with Riverside, really. What an amazing thing that he's doing and what he's brought to this place. I just shout out to him, tell him I said, keep up the good work. Without it, not only would our world be drab and dark, but we wouldn't have the ability to express ourselves in, I believe, the ways that we've been able to. And to have, like I said, I keep going back to this because this is what keeps coming to me today. and being able to have the conversations that are necessary for change. It's almost like you can have a door, but if you haven't keys to open the door, then what's behind the door stays locked away. What music is, I believe, is a master key. It is a master key. And guess what a master key? A master key doesn't open one door. It opens all the doors. And so I've seen in my life, I've been in all kinds of situations where I've sang music and sang with people. I had the opportunity to sing with Toby Keith, who was a complete country star. Rest in peace. But we were singing American Soldier. It's not music that I would have normally gotten to do, but I got the call to put together a background singers. And when I listened to his music and listened to his lyrics, I believed what he was saying. You're talking about American Soldiers. Well, who doesn't love that?
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? And so that, again, music beyond social economic challenges or where we come from, all of this stuff, the song, the melody, the harmony, the drum beat says, come here, let me have a conversation with you. And I want to start with this.
And what's so powerful about that, we're in a challenging time today. We don't have to sugarcoat it. We're in this country dealing with major divide on so many things. To kind of close this out as you transition and to do songs related to unity, and of course I put in my own special request for one song that will close us out, but a couple of songs related to unity. I know you're going to do that. How do we get this space of music in a bigger space of addressing concerns here in our country today? Because we're just divided. How do we find this space that you're talking about of unity when it comes to music?
Well, I think it starts with people being willing, honestly. I like my analogies, but vehicles are vehicles and keys are keys. But it takes two people to actually have a conversation. Otherwise, one person is just lecturing, just talking at someone. But conversation speaks of at least both people are come to the table to at least hear. And so, as far as I'm concerned, music as a universal language has the power to unify because it at least gives us the opportunity to open the door. Now, you have to be willing to come to the door.
And you have to be willing to lean on the other person at times.
That's what you have to do. Yeah. Give me lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, for no one can feel those of your needs that you won't let show. Just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean. You sing with me. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Oh, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean. Now let's do the fun part again. Call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. Oh, I might have a problem that you understand. We all need somebody to lean on me. When you're not strong, I'll be your hand. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Oh, lean to your left, just lean to your right. Turn around and lean on your brother. Turn around and lean on everybody. Lean, 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 yeah. Lean, lean, lean. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your hand. I'll help you carry on. Oh, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
Awesome. Now before you go into your last song, just some final thoughts. Final thoughts before you go into your last song. Give us some encouragement to carry the spirit of music forward. When we think about our personal lives and our professional lives and all that we're doing here at Riverside, how can you encourage us in thinking about music as a language for healing, as a bridge, and all of those things, and thinking about, again, I know you're going to close this out with a tune that I'm so excited to hear, but before you get to that, close us out with some thoughts on how we can take music forward as professional, personal experiences for ourselves.
Music isn't just something that we hear or listen to. It's something that we live. It's in the rhythm of our daily lives. It's in the way we encourage one another, in the way we come together as a community just like this today. As we leave today, I want you to carry this with you. The power of music is in your hands. It can be a tool of healing, connection, and inspiration. When you sing, play, hum, or just turn on a song that speaks to your soul, let music remind you that you're not alone and that we are all part of something greater. Dr. King once said, everybody can be great because everyone can serve. And in many ways, music is service. It gives, it uplifts, it unites. So let's leave here today with a renewed heart, with a song in our spirit, and with the understanding that music is and always will be of movement. Music is a world within itself with a language we can all understand. So let's continue to speak that language. Let's continue to listen, continue to heal, and come together in harmony. Thank you. Let's keep it going. Yeah, you ready? In the right key. Go. This is your last song. Music is a world within itself, with a language we all understand, with an equal opportunity for all to sing and dance and clap their hands. But just because record has a groove, don't make it in the groove. But you can tell right away from letter A when the people start to move. Yeah, they can feel it all over. They can feel it all over, people. They can feel it all over. Yeah, they can feel it all over, people. Music knows that it is and always will be one of the things that life just won't quit. Yeah. But here are some music pioneers, and time will not allow us to forget. There's Basie and Miller, and then the king of all, Sir Duke. And with a voice like Ella ringing out, there's no way the band can lose, yeah. They can feel it all over. They can feel it all over, people. They can feel it all over. Yeah, they can feel it all over, people. I hope you're singing at home wherever you are. All over, yeah. They can feel it all over, people. They can feel it all over. Yeah, they can feel it all over, people. Ba ba do do ba do do ba do 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 ba lu do 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 lu do 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 ba. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all so much. I hope you have enjoyed the music of the movement. Thank you to Professor Jerome Kyles and the band, Gerald and David, and I don't know the Tyson and the tech team, Riverside's amazing tech team. They have done a fabulous job. Thank you, Chris, to you and your team for getting everything set up. We really appreciate it, and we hope that you all really have enjoyed this opportunity to think about music in a different way and the importance of music in all that we do in our history and as we go forward. Thank you all so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.